documentary. And he goes, P Diddy definitely fucked everybody and did this and raped everyone. And then we're like, well, how do you know? He's like, I read. It doesn't really mean anything. You're always reading somebody else's numbers.
But that's what you can do in comedy. That is enough to checkmate most comedians.
Yeah,
I read, and you go, he does read. All right.
Yeah. Well, it's just a funny thing to say because you could also be like admitting the ridiculousness of it yourself while saying I read. You know, because it's kind of an admission. Like I'm not there. I didn't go to the freak off.
Yeah, I want to hear somebody came and goes, I went to one of these parties and man, P Diddy was like, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to go fuck Meek Mill in the butt. But like that's never going to happen. No one comes out and says.
So
that.
if you're looking at that. What makes you conclude that he definitely was doing that?
Because he basically, the first time they ever met, he presented him with the Steele dossier, which had all of the dirt.
That's the pee-pee stuff, right?
Yeah, all the pee-pee shit in it. Or I shouldn't say shit. There was no shit alleged, just piss.
Russian piss.
Yes, alleged Russian piss. Yes, that's the aspect Jay wants to make sure.
Is that what collusion means?
Something like that. And then
he plays so dirty. They play dirty like a movie.
It's pretty crazy. Yeah.
It's really wild.
I don't know. I mean, did you see
that was the number one fear of having these big agencies have so much power, is that they would never want to relinquish it. They would never want to say, like, hey, look, we're patriots. I think we should follow by the rule of the Constitution and let the people decide. And it's like everything else, man. Once you start running shit, you don't want to stop.
Hell, I've seen friends of mine have way less power go to their head.
It's weird, right?
I wouldn't trust these two with power.
Damn but right. It is a weird thing to watch, right?
Yes, it's bizarre. That's human beings, though, man.
Now imagine that, but with no showbiz. No showbiz. So you get in that rush. But now the rush is controlling the world.
Well, isn't that?
Yeah, it's like the way we feel about crushing on stage is the way Hillary Clinton feels about crushing Libya.
But isn't that we saw, he died. I fucking crushed.
Wasn't that L. Ron Hubbard, though? L. Ron Hubbard was like, hey, this will be funny. I'll start this and go into this, start a religion. And then, years later, he said when his friends he told that to hit him up like, this is crazy, dude, you did it. He's like, you ran that scam. And he's like, scam? You better get your thetan levels checked if you're going to say it's like he just started eating his own shit because well,
he was. Do you know that he's the most prolific writer in human history?
Sci-fi was, yeah.
More fiction, than any other human being ever.
More than Stephen King.
More than anybody.
And one Bible.
Dude, more than anybody, and not a second draft amongst them. Everything he wrote was nonsense. Everything he wrote was hot nonsense. If you read it, it's like these are the dumbest stories.
Well, do you remember the Dianetics commercials? Do you remember the commercials with the volcano, the lava was going off, and it just gave you like the most generalized things anyone feels? He goes, "Are you sometimes tired and sometimes awake?" Nothing was just vague.
You did it before, right, Lewis? When they had the test in Times Square,
people, because it was just kind of cool. I was like a dumb kid, so they're like, "Hey, do you want us to test your stress levels?" I was like, "Boy, do I!" And I went over and I held these dumb things, and they're like, "Yep."
The ones that go like that.
Yeah, they're like, "You're stressed," and I was like, "I am, right?" They're like, "Come on inside." They brought me into this weird thing. They tried to sell me a book. I don't really remember.
I did that too, and I did that in San Diego. I was down there filming something, and we were in the park. And it was at a time where a lot of people didn't know who I am, and I could sneak in. And I sat down at this guy's table, and he gave me the e-meter, and I put my hands in the things, and he told me what it was reading. I'm like, how does this thing function? What is it reading off my body? And the dude was like, oh, I don't want to explain it. He didn't want to really be there. He's just a member who got roped into doing this thing. He had zero enthusiasm about the sale.
They have the street team job for...
It's the lowest level.
It's the lowest level job you could have, is having to go out and bark people into your church.
Have you guys read Lawrence Wright's book about it?
I don't think so.
It's called Going Clear.
Oh, I saw the
documentary, the HBO thing. Yeah, the book is the documentary basically tells you all you need to hear. But
thank God,
it's so it's such a strange religion. But here's the thing about it, man. This is what's weird about religions. This is my, I'm a moron, but I occasionally have these moments where I'm like, I think I know what the fuck is going on. If you really believe it, it benefits your life. Even if it's hot nonsense, even if it's a 14-year-old kid who finds golden tablets that contain the lost work of Jesus and only he can read it because he has a magic rock. Yeah. But if you get enough of those people, they make great neighbors. Like it fucking
I'll tell you
works,
though,
man.
they just
like,
want their kids
is
to go
it
to
better?
school.
But here's my question: is it better to be an atheist and to be this person who just like objectively looks at the world and like none of this makes sense? There's no way there could be a God. I think when you die, you die, and that guy's fucking miserable. That guy's taking medication, and all of his friends think he's annoying.
I mean,
I think
I'm a
believing-
devout atheist, and you're right about all that. You believe like in a higher power?
No, I don't not believe. I believe
That's what my girlfriend says when I ask her.
I believe there's more to the universe and more to life than we can think of through our narrow field of perception. That's what I think. I think there's more to human contact and interaction than just people talking to each other. I think there's a thinly veiled reality that we live in where we express our souls to each other. That's what I think. And I think it's a very complicated and confusing thing that's fucked up by lies and deception and violence and war.
Well, so many
and
of
it's
them, I
enhanced
think-
by friendship and love and communication. And it's weird. There's a thing going on that's beyond just like you're born and you die. And if that thing keeps going when the physical body stops existing, I wouldn't be surprised.
I think religion is always the funniest to dial back to, though, because all the organized stuff, you were doing the Joe Smith story, finds the tablets or the plates.
Right.
And everything. Could that be more of a religion that was like a pitched by a dude to a bunch of dudes?
Well, this
Guys,
is a
turns out
kid.
we could have a whole bunch of chicks, and they all just have to live next to each other. And you fuck one
Well, it
this
was like,
night, and
wasn't
then
it
the
like
other
they were like it was like racist up until like 30 years ago. They were like black people were like the seed of the devil or whatever, and then they changed it. They're like, no,
Did
they're
they?
cool now.
You
Did
can't
they
be
really?
racist when your women are bearded. You ever
Yeah.
see Sister Wives? It's not like you're stoked to have 3 of them.
Yeah, but dude, two 4s is an 8.
Well,
so.
you know the guy who wrote it. That's when shit gets sketchy.
Yeah, there is something about like when it's from thousands
Too
of years
too
ago.
recent, yeah.
It's easy to go like, look, there was a burning bush and
Yeah.
God spoke to this guy, and you're like, when? Like 5,000 years ago. You're like, all right, fine. But when you're just like 3 Wednesdays ago, it happened. You're like,
That's like,
I'm
yeah.
not buying that.
There's enough stories that are similar about the ancient stories of like apocalypses, like the stuff about like the Epic of Gilgamesh is real similar to Noah and the Ark. There's enough of those
Yeah,
stories.
like Jesus was like they keep on just redescribing him from like thousands of years before Jesus was around. That story of him being the son of God and all
The
that other
Virgin
stuff.
Mother.
Yeah.
He's a black woman now.
Jesus is trans.
He
Jesus is a
could have
black
been.
woman.
He could have been an alien.